Hey guys, what's going on? This is Eagzey. Welcome to the how-to series made on Shaco. This is episode 2, boys. How to early clear on Shaq, like the GOAT. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Lots of people have been asking about this on Reddit, on my stream, where to put the boxes and all this stuff. This is how you do it. I'm going to show you 4 clears for each side. They're all the same, by the way. They're just mirrored, but I'll show you on each side. The box placements kind of differ a little bit, and I'll show you how to do them. So right here, this first clear, we're going to start at Raptors. Now we want to get 3 Raptors, okay? 3 Raptors, then red, then blue, then Scuttle Crab. So the standard clear for Shaq at the moment, for me, which is by far the best clear when you get these right, the boxes right, is, so you want to get either 2 small walls or 3 small Raptors. Then you go buff, Scuttle Crab. You'll hit level 3 at around 220, 225, depending on leash and how effectively you clean. You clear, alright? So, as you see, like, I put the boxes in like a kind of semicircle thing, very similar to last season's, or maybe even earlier this season. I can't remember what clear that was, but yeah, nice and easy. Take the 3 outer ones, and we go to red buff, and thankfully we have this Shaco player helping us get a leash. So, as you see, very nice clear. 140, before 145 is when you want to get that, but once again, the important thing there is to get the box placements right. Obviously, you know, hope the other team doesn't invade. Make sure that you guys, your team's watching the invade. Take the blast cone over to blue buff. Make sure that we tank a hit in between the box and the blue buff. So, like, as soon as we order the blue buff, we put a box down, we tank 1 hit, let the box take a hit, we take another one, then the box takes the final one. Okay? If you don't understand what I'm saying, just keep watching and you'll get it. And after you do these clears, you get, like, the other jungler is probably farming, you know, trying to get level 3, they'll still be level 2. It gives you, like, 10, 15, 20 seconds, depending on the other jungler, of free time to do something on the map, boys. And that pressure can materialize into kills, a gold lead, even, like, just ganking a lane and forcing summoners can get your lane going, especially when they're good players, so this, again, is exactly the same. All we're doing here is going to their blue buff. So we've cleared Raptors and red, and we've just gone to their blue buff to take it. This is really good against junglers like Graves, Camille, Zinzao, who'd like to get red buff and then gank. Even Twitch, I'd say, is in that category. So if you can, like, kind of anticipate the other jungler to start at their red buff and then gank in lane, you have, like, a good, like, 15 seconds at least to take their bot side jungle. This clear, we're going to start at blue buff this time. This is very important. I want you to see where I place the walls, boys. So that one is like below the nose of that skull. So there's a skull in the wall. It's like on the nose of it. This next one, you can put it legit. There are so many places you can put them. This is just what works for me. So get in a practice tool and practice them. This is just what works for me. So we put it on like that corner, the point of that kind of pattern, the pattern of lines in there. It's hard for me to explain. It's a lot easier if you guys just kind of like pause the video and make sure you watch it. This one here, there's like a point as well in between a shadow. You'll probably see this later on, actually you might not. But guys, I'd encourage you to go into a practice tool. Alright, find out what boxes work for you, because there are plenty of them. Trust me, I've tried so many. Even this afternoon, like, this recording is 2 hours long. I've had to obviously cut it and stuff. There are so many placements that work. It's just about finding ones that work for you. So make sure you put in a bit of work. It won't take too long, trust me. Make sure you get the boxes down pat and you'll be sweet. This is just what works for me. So we do blue buff, obviously get a leash from your top laner. We're going buff Scuttle Crab, so the standard clear. And once again, at the end of this clear, you'll have 10, 15, 20 seconds of free time to gank, invade. Just do one of them, mate. You've got to put pressure on the map early. That's why Electrocute is better as well. Get asked a lot, man, about runes. You guys have to understand that, like, it's not the be-all and end-all, dude. Like, if you're running Dark Harvest or Electrocute or something else random, it really isn't, like, that important. Okay, if you're a good Shaco player, it doesn't really matter what runes you run. Electrocute is just there to help our early game. This one as well, guys, this is exactly the same. So after we've done blue buff, we go to invade, we take their red buff. This is against slow kind of clear junglers who you don't expect to buff. Now, against junglers who you're expecting to, like, go from their blue buff to red buff to Scuttle Crab here, this is a lot riskier. And because you're a Shaco main, you have to be careful, because the other jungler's probably thinking, shit, I'm gonna get cheesed. Let's ask my top laner to, you know, ward our red buff, and you might get collapsed on. So be very careful about doing this. I rarely do it, because first of all, when I'm on stream, I'm not sure if, you know, the other jungler knows what I'm doing. And because it happens a lot. Like, they will ward their second buff, alright? This one as well, guys. This is the these are the box placements for red side. So we're gonna go. This is standard buff scuttle crab. So right here, as you see where I put the boxes, there's a line. There's a big line there, that middle box. But there's a little line to the left of that. That's where I put that second box. Very important. The first one goes in between that triangle. You see on the top left, goes in that triangle, mate, in the middle of it, and that one goes in between like the two lines there. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you a clear that Drew Timsley showed me. Showed me on some picture that he's got, and I do this as well. I do his clear as well with the box placements. So there are plenty of box placements, plenty of options, mate. You've just got to go into a practice tool and find the one that is like kind of easiest for you to remember, because they're obviously all easy to do. All you're doing is putting like a couple of boxes down in locations, but it's just about like finding the locations that you remember best, I feel, because I've tried a few, and yeah, the ones that I'm doing right here are definitely my favourite. So once again, just buff. And at the end of this, when we do Scuttle Crab again, we'll have 10-15 seconds, providing they're not there, of course. Obviously, if they're there doing this, we don't really want to fight anyone level 2 on Shaco. And my strategy normally for the early game is to kind of avoid the other jungler. Most meta junglers right now, like Trundle, Graves, even Nidalee, like we can't fight them level 2. With level 3 we can, especially with Electrocute and Ignite, but level 2 we can't. Not really. Like, it's kind of situational, but generally, no, we can't. So I try to avoid them, so I'll predict their pathing, and I'll be like, right, if they're going to be top side Scuttle Crab at 2 or so minutes, I want to be bottom side. I want to avoid them early game, because I can get a lead in XP, steal their Raptors, steal their camps and stuff before they even hit level 3, and I'll be level 3 and close to level 4 or whatever, and be able to gank lanes and stuff. So that's my strategy. Is just to avoid the other jungler, get through this clear. Like, if they don't invade you here, and you get a nice clean clear, and you get Scuttle Crab, and you know you can force a gank somewhere and get a kill, mate, you are just in an ideal position. Like, that's just perfectly. This clear as well, guys. See the box placements here. Rewind it if you didn't see it. The first box, top left, is exactly the same, mate, in exactly the same location. The middle one is in between that line, and the other one is like a triangle shape. And the one on the right, you put between a square. It's like triangle, triangle, square. You'll see the patterns on the floor, and that one on the top right you can see now is like at the bottom of that square on the right side of the camp. Alright, important to remember, triangle, triangle, square for that one. I actually think I might prefer that because it's easy to remember, right? Triangle, triangle, square. Once again here, as you see me typing to Poltron, Drew Tim's in the chat, that was his box setup, which I tried and it worked. And that one's actually really easy to remember. Don't copy me here for the red buff clear, I fucked this up. You should always go around the back of it. First order should be a backstab. You also see, guys, that I'm proccing backstab a lot. That's because there's a bug at the moment, and I'm pretty sure you have to run Alacrity in your runes. So your secondary tree in your runes, if you run Alacrity Precision, I think you can get, like, I don't know, just multiple backstabs. Resets on camps, especially red buff and crab. I haven't seen it on blue buff, I don't think ever, but red buff and scuttle crab, you can get numerous backstab resets. So if that's one good thing about running Alacrity, let alone, like, you know, the attack speed you get early game, which is nice as well. And right here, guys, this is the Raptors clear for red side. So these are the final 2 clears. So exactly the same as blue side. All these clears are exactly the same. There's nothing too, you know, red hot about them. So we're going to put the boxes in kind of like a ring around the top of it again. For you guys, I think there's better clears available for this Raptors, like actually getting the 3 Raptors we need to get level 3 after we do the clear. Like, you guys, if you find something that's, you know, a more efficient clear than this, then definitely let me know in the comment section. Send me a picture or some shit on stream or in my Discord, which will be linked in the description to this video. But like, the important thing here as well, I didn't point that out on bottom side, you want to put that 4th box at red buff. You want your laner to, like, leash the red buff into that box, so you don't waste much time. But, once again, it's not that important. As long as you get a leash, like, you'll be sweet. So here we just go buff, buff. Obviously, if you're versing a jungler who's slow clear again, you can invade, absolutely. The only bad thing about invading with this strategy is that you don't have blue buff. So if you get in a bit of strife, mate, you're going to have mana for 1 Q, and that's it. And because your level 2 is so useless, if you get pincered by their team, if you get collapsed on, you're going to be in a... You're probably going to die. And tilt. And AFK. No, don't AFK. Once again here, so you see the backstab resets. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm running Alacrity. This one, again, this is if you're invading, so versing a slow cleared jungler, or a jungler who you think is going to gank after level 2, sorry, like Xin Zhao, J4, all of them. You can quickly come in and sneak this, sorry, but always be careful, mate. Whenever you're doing buffs like this, always be looking at the map, paying attention to what's going on, and reacting to it. And we queue back over and get the scuttle grab, and that's it. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up. Make sure this guy's around. I know a lot of people have been asking me about box setups and all that stuff, and jungle clears. And this was it, guys. Hope you enjoyed episode 2. I'll be back with episode 3 in the next week or so. Check us out on stream, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Alright, boys. Peace.